What's up, y'all? It's Madam Oracle with another channel message. In Houston, we definitely have a problem. Today is July 31st, 2024, and I've been having weird inclinations from Spirit concerning Texas ever since November 2023. But I've been noticing, especially with the Hurricane Beryl, in the aftermath of all of that, that there's been an acceleration in the spirit realm concerning Texas. And so there are a few things that I want to try to hit on as quickly as possible. That is political warfare, spiritual warfare, blood pacts, and please don't laugh at me, but alien invasions. So I had to ask Spirit, why is this acceleration occurring and when did it begin? And I was brought back to the Astro World concert. I think that's right. And then, of course, there were some dark spiritual transactions that occurred when the young rapper from out the group that's here in Atlanta was murdered in 2022. And Spirit told me H-Town is called, in the spirit realm, Hit Town. Like hit, like hits. So, in addition to that, there's a lot of spiritual warfare that's occurring because there's a lot of conjurings that are happening, ancestral practices, indigenous practices, and even political, esoteric, maybe even occultic practices where there's the summonings of principalities. And so all of that is interplay right now. And there's literally a dark cloud hovering over Houston. And there literally is a warfare, spiritual warfare between good and bad, divine and evil, or divine and demonic. And unfortunately, it is producing ramifications that the people, the citizens, have to actually be subject to because, again, this is a spiritual warfare. One of the reasons for the political warfare in Texas is that the governor is trying to, and not just him, the representatives are really trying to keep Texas as constitutionally sound as possible. There are not a lot of people that are in agreement with that outside of Texas, and it's causing some problems that may look like it's nature-based, but that's not the case. There are a few of you that may have moved to Houston because of a fad or a trend, or you thought it was the next popping place to be, and now you are regretting that. Again, it might be some of this spiritual kickback, or you just might find that your life is not in cohesion like it used to be, and you're living in regret, and you're like, oh my God, why did you allow this to happen? I hate my life. I hate this place. I don't want to be here. But now you have obligations. You have your living obligations. You have contractual obligations with your place of employment, and some of you have children that are enrolled now for school to start, and you just can't pick up and leave and start over. I want to let you know that you should continue to upkeep your spiritual practices so you don't further agitate yourself in a place that is unknown and foreign to you. You do need spiritual insight and permission sometimes when you're leaving another state to go into another state so that you can have the correct protection from the spirit realm. Every state has its own spiritual borders and portals and, gateways, if you will, because it stands as a place of travel for certain energies or spirits. Not being in alignment with another location's spiritual climate, or even having permission in that place to be, can really throw your life off balance. So you're not losing your mind. It's not a case of bad luck. There's just not an agreement, and you don't have any protection for that. Another thing that I'm seeing and hearing in the spirit is more crime, uptick in crime with young people. And primarily it's going to be like car theft rings and drug related. Like, I don't see a lot of gang violence, but I do see more stabbings. Like, I'm hearing spilled blood on the streets. So for me, that equates to stabbings on the street. Car theft by young people. And I guess if you're from Texas, this is a thing, but it's coming up in Houston right now for me, is to be vigilant and be careful. Don't be hot-headed on the highway. I see a lot of like shootings on the highway. And so that's something that you should be very careful of, especially women, especially Black women. I'm gonna say that too. Road rage is a real thing, but it's not worth losing your life over. Also, I want to acknowledge the transition of Representative Sheila Jackson Lee. Now, in the spirit realm, it's a very heavy weight when a political figure, especially one that was really truly for the people, passes away. Um, Among the many astounding things that her legacy has, the contributions that she has made to humanity and society. Her legacy is sound in social justice, women's rights, advocacy for African American reparations, co-sponsoring, I believe, the George Floyd Law Enforcement Trust and Integrity Act, which for me symbolizes part of the murder of Sonia Massey, and then that connection between Sandra Bland, and then Spirit circled back Kamala Harris. Also, her Sentencing Reform Act, which is why Spirit brought up Kamala Harris, and Khalif's Law, which is in memoriam to Khalif Broader, who was a young Black man that passed away by way of suicide after being held unlawfully long. I apologize, y'all. In Rikers Island prison. And why Spirit wanted to highlight Khalif Broader is because there have been a lot of domestic violence cases, murder-suicides in Black domestic relationships. And I definitely foresee that there's a spirit of mania that's going to occur, unfortunately, where more Black men will be unaliving themselves. Hopefully not families, but themselves. So that was important for me to make that correlation, and for you to also recognize that among Project 2025, one of the things that we really have to consider is making decisions politically for our futures and the future of our children's children, and not to be bullied into voting for either party because someone either says something really well or someone looks like they would do something for a particular people. Don't just go with the facts. Make your demands and do what needs to be done for the unification of our communities. And so we thank God for Representative Sheila Jackson Lee. So the last thing I want to hit on is, of course, the alien invasions. Now, this is a little fun for me because even though I'm not in Texas, I probably would want to visit because of this. Now, when I was starting this video, Spirit was telling me of two places, San Antonio and Amarillo, of places that are going to be, the frequency is going to be very, very high. And so I wouldn't be surprised if the children here, and there's an emphasis on Mexican children, y'all keep disrespecting Mexican people, the Mexican tribe. That's not cool because their children are really, really gifted, like naturally, okay? But I wouldn't be surprised if children in San Antonio, Austin, El Paso, Amarillo, and Plainview, and I'm going to assume because it's a very mountainous place, start having visions, or they might say that they're seeing things. I wouldn't be surprised if the whole population in these places start having outer body experiences, or if the clouds look like they're parting. I see so much activity in the stars, like the stars are moving, and it just seems like it's going to be a really phenomenal place to be because the spirit realm is open. Like, it's just an open, abundant place in Texas right now. So I want to let you know that you do need to keep physical protection, spiritual protection, prayers, amulets, pray over your cars. But also, Spirit is emphasizing, don't react off of emotions, okay? Make mentally sound decisions. Everybody's going through something right now. Houston, you are being highlighted in the spirit. Care for your community. I love you, and do the right thing.